Hello everybody, I'm Martin Harper. I am the owner of GMD Online and the designer of the Pegasus Engine, Core RPG. The Pegasus Engine is our second rendition of the Core RPG, and I am making a series of videos to just showcase elements of the engine. So, it is a universal cinematic role-playing game and it can cover most genres. The story behind the Pegasus Engine is I needed a game system that could cover all sorts of games for my games club that I run, and therefore I developed my own game system to do that. And my members love it so much they asked me to create it as a game system so they could have a copy of the rules as well, and that's what I've done. Here we are on version 2, and today's video is going to be about performing tasks. The performance of tasks in the Pegasus Engine works exactly like it does in previous edition. For those that don't know that, I'm going to go over it again today. So to showcase this, I've got a A5 pre-gen card here, Sergeant Shields from our Pendragon campaign setting, which is Project Pendragon. It's a superhero, defenders of the United Kingdom, and Sergeant Shields is in charge. She is a defender, and we won't bother about her background because that's not what we're going over today. All we're interested in today is her statistics here to the left and her specializations. She may have some perks or powers that she might have activated to help her. And on the back of this card, we've got a dice pools and gear and some background story, which we don't really need. Okay, so I've got a set of dice, virtual dice here to use. With the Pegasus Engine, everything is opposed roll, so you roll versus a target dice, and if you beat that result, you win and are successful in the task that you're doing. But you only roll if there is a chance of failure that has an impact on the story. So say Sergeant Shields wanted to get on a horse and just ride it down the street. No roll needed, has no impact on the story, therefore we don't need to do it. Right, so let's do some tasks and go over the difficulty tasks. So the difficulties in the book shows you 5 levels of difficulty. You can increase those difficulty levels if you want as a Games Masters, but I find that you don't really need to. So level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and a level 5 difficulty. And that increases the dice type by 2 steps. By 1 step to different dice. So it goes D4 to D6 to D8 to D10 to D12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how our level system works. So we've got easy at level 1, average at level 2, a challenging task at level 3, a difficult task at level 4, and an extremely difficult task at level 5. So Sergeant Shields might want to clamber up a rope to get to a ledge above her. So the Games Master says, okay, could you make me a climbing strength check? The reason we ask for a double barrel check is climbing is the specialization, strength is the default statistic. We look on her character sheet, she doesn't have climbing as a specialization, so therefore she'll be just making a strength check. Lucky for her, she is super strong, D10, and she's got a +1 modifier. We'll say it's an easy task, so the Games Master would roll the dice and go, right, the result is a 2, and Sergeant Shields rolls a strength, gets a 4, and +1 is 5. Sergeant Shields clambers up the rope, gets to the ledge, and doesn't have to make any falling damage roll. Easy as that. Okay, so let's have a look at some more examples. Let's say Sergeant Shields wants to do... what's she got that can help? Thrown. Sergeant Shields wants to throw her shield and hit a security camera in the far end of the room. So the Games Master says, okay, I'm going to give that as an average task for you to do that. Give me a thrown check. So the Games Master rolls, and we get a 3 for the difficulty, and we have a look at Sergeant Shields' thrown. As you can see, she's got thrown of D8 and agility D10. And I think that, yep, there it is. And because her agility's got a +1, as we can see on the dice code here, it's got a +1. So she rolls a D8, a D10, and adds 1 to the final result. There we go. Double 4. Amazing. +1, 5, because we just discard the lowest. In this case, they're both the same, so it doesn't matter. And we add 1 to the result. So it's 5. 5v3. Sergeant Shield throws the shield, bounces off the ball, smashes into the camera, destroys it, and comes back to her and catches it. There we go. Nice dramatic scene. So let's say Sergeant Shields is looking around the room looking for clues. So the Games Master might say, okay, I want a spot perception check to see if you see any clues in this room. So we look on Sergeant Shields. Doesn't have the spot check specialisation. You've got to bear in mind this character was made with the old style, and the new style she may have. Right, so perception. Her perception is D6 +1. So we'll say it's a challenging task to find the secrets, the hidden base of the Mordred team. The map there said, oh, it's a 4, it's well hidden. But she's got a +1 to this D6. Oh, 6. Because she rolled the highest, she rolls again. +1 is 7. And a +1 modification on top of that, 8. So 6, a 1, because she rolled maximum of the dice roll. Roll again, add it to itself. +1 for a stat. 7, 8. Beats the 4. She locates the map to the hidden Mordred base. Okay, so these are difficulty tasks. Not all difficulty tasks will have just a difficulty dice to roll, but the difficulty dice will also gain hindrance that apply to the character. So let's say Sergeant Shields has a level 1 hindrance on her. So the Games Master says, right, okay, you've got a level 1 hindrance. Sergeant Shields, okay, let's use that frame the shield at the security camera. He said it was a D6. It was an average task. Because she's hindered, the difficulty dice also gets the hindrance dice applied to the opposition. In this case, Sergeant Shields. Oh, so 2 is lowest. We get rid of that. 6 keeps going. +2 is 8. So Sergeant Shields needs to make a thrown roll, which is D10, D8 +1. We ignore the hindrance, that's already applied. Oh, 8 +1, 9. Luckily, she had +1 to her thrown there because of the agility. It just about clips the security camera, smashes it, and the shield comes bouncing back. But it was made a bit more of a struggle. Maybe she had a stun level on her, hence the hindrance. Or there might be some sort of soft whining going on in the room and it's affecting her psyche. Okay, so that's how hindrance works. Doing tasks. Now, say Sergeant Shields was fighting this Larson warrior. I doubt that they would ever meet because the Larson soldier is from Law and Sergeant Shields from Pendragon. If you're doing some sort of multi-dimensional game, which using our Nexus campaign world, then potentially they could. But let's say they are for the argument's sake. And Sergeant Shields is having an arm wrestle with the Larson. So there is no difficulty dice because it is a direct opposition task. So it's be Sergeant Shields' strength of D10 +1 versus the Larson strength of D6. I think she may win this. So she rolls, and the Larson rolls at the same time. He gets a 4, she gets an 8, +1 because her strength has +1, which is 9. There we go. She wins the arm wrestle. there's a lot of checks that would require opposed rolls. For example, say Sergeant Shields was taunting the Larson to use her taunt specialisation, which would force him then to attack her. Therefore, she would then roll her, press the right button, 2d6. There's no modifications because Sergeant Shield doesn't have any modifications to social. So she rolls 2d6, and because taunt affects the mind, and that is a d4, your Larson gets a d4, which, oh, hang on, let's roll out. I just missed that and I didn't see it. It was a 3. There we go. So she rolls a 3 and your Larson rolls a 3. We get rid of this 2 because we don't need it anymore. However, the Larson rolled 3 and so says Sergeant Shields. It's a draw. You need to roll more than. So Sergeant Shields is required to be successful to roll more than the Larson soldier. She's the aggravator in this dice roll. She needs to roll more than. He's making the opposed roll. So there's no success there. And she's not successful in taunting the Larson soldier. If you want to see how combat works, again it works. It's just an opposed rolls. Go and watch the combat video. That is performing simple tasks. If, for example, you want to say that she is climbing the cliff face in this image behind us here, and the GM says, okay, it is a challenging task, there's plenty of handholds, and let's say Sergeant Shields is in the icy and weather conditions there, you might say that she is suffering from a level 2 hindrance due to the ice. Therefore, the difficulty would be a D8 and a D6 because she's got that on there. But you would only put that hindrance on Sergeant Shields if it would affect all of her abilities. If you're saying, oh, it's because of the icy surface, instead of saying challenging, just increase it a level or 2 levels to extremely difficult to climb up an icy cliff face. So the difficulty would be, 1. Sergeant Shields has been very lucky because she has found plenty of ice of handholds up through the ice. It's not completely iced over, and she gets D8 plus 1. Nice one, 10. She clambers up that cliff face without falling off again. Good old Sergeant Shields. Easy as that. Thank you for watching this video. The videos have been made possible, so has the Pegasus Engine, by my GMD VIP members over at my website. By being a member, you get products of your choice. I spend an X amount of time, depending on the tier level of your membership, and focus on creating that product for you, and which all members get to benefit from. However, if you want to contribute towards our free version, where we're slowly putting elements of the rules on our website for free as part of a web page, then become a patron member. So you've got 2 membership schemes there, depending on what you want to do. Do you want to further develop our products and see more and more, or do you want some products put on for free? Sign up, help us develop our products, become the champions and the heroes you were born to be. Thank you very much for watching this video. If I can just find the button to turn it off.